Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. When I rose to make my maiden speech here on the 1st of July 2015, I touched upon the Trident programme because it's very close to my heart. In fact, it's very close to my constituency. And at the time I mentioned it, I thought there was a bit of an abstract concept around Trident. People know it's out there, but they don't actually know what it is, how much it costs, how much it cannot be used, what it's actually doing as a deterrent. So if you stand in the shores of my constituency of Inverclyde, you can often see Vanguard-class submarines moving silently through the deep waters. They catch the sunlight and they shimmer along their long, sleek, black bodies as they cut through the surface of the water. Their colour may suggest giant eels, but they lack their elegance. They are, however, engineering marvels. To fire a missile from beneath the water's surface and project it through the water until it breaks free, then manage two controlled explosions that project the missile to a predefined target, where ballistic missiles carrying nuclear warheads are released and either explode on impact or are exploded automatically at the required height to cause maximum death and destruction. Well, that takes some doing. Mankind has never lacked ingenuity when it comes to inventing ways of killing each other. But I can't help wonder, what else could we have achieved with all that time, effort, ingenuity and money? The issue we have is that successive governments of the United Kingdom have supported and expanded the nuclear weapons programme at eye-watering costs. So why? When I sit in this House of Commons, I talk to many members across this chamber that support Trident. And I can tell them that these weapons can kill tens of millions of people, but they know that. I can tell them that the watershed will be poisoned, crops will fail, and many more will die with the most degrading ways from famine, pestilence and plague. And as they nod, I can see they know that. I can share stories of survivors like Suzuki Thurlow, who told me of the people falling to the ground, bellies extended and bursting as they hit the ground. People trying to carry their own eyes had fallen out their heads. People with flesh falling off their bones as they die in agony. I can also tell them that WMDs have not stopped wars across the globe, and including Vietnam and Afghanistan, but they know that. I can tell them that WMDs are no protection from terrorism, and they know that. I can tell them that £205 billion could be spent on health, education, housing, transport, or even financing or conventional armed forces. But they know that too. The majority of supporters of WMD are just like me, with one vital difference. They believe that WMDs are a deterrent. They believe their existence has kept us safe. And as these weapons have existed during a period when we have avoided wars on the scale of the First and Second World War in Europe, I can see where they're coming from. If you believe keeping your guard up is keeping you safe, then lowering your guard is a very frightening thing to do. And in this case, they are so frightened that they are prepared to carry out the greatest atrocity humankind has ever perpetrated and have it done in their name. Well, not in my name. Not all countries believe nuclear warfare is required. Maybe as many as 9 countries feel the need to have nuclear weapons out of roughly 200. Yep.
I'm very grateful to him for his courtesy. The only point I would just put for his consideration is you could say exactly the same thing about poison gas, which was used in the First World War and not in the Second. And the reason it wasn't used in the Second was the fear of overwhelming retaliation, because the British warned that we had those stocks and we would retaliate not only on our own behalf, but on behalf of our allies like Russia. So the question is, which keeps the peace?
And you can say that about almost any weapon that we've managed to invent. The threat escalates because of these weapons that exist. We sit in this chamber and we try and debate all sorts of subjects. And we try and do it sometimes in a fairly amicable manner. But if that escalates and gets beyond debate, it could turn to violence, but it doesn't. Because we respect each other, we back off and we discuss it. And we say to kids in the streets, don't carry knives. If you're carrying a knife and I'm carrying a knife, someone's going to get stabbed. So we talk to these kids, we talk them down and say, don't carry those weapons. And yet here in this place, our attitude towards ending wars is to escalate the weapons that people can carry.
On that point,
sure.
I'm grateful for my honourable friend for giving way, and he makes a point about weapons being available. Does he agree with the statement by the United Nations Canberra Commission that said, so long as any state has nuclear weapons, others will want them. So long as any such weapons remain, it defies credibility that they will not one day be used by accident, miscalculation or design. It's sheer luck that the world has escaped such catastrophe until now.
I absolutely endorse the statement there. And I find it quite ironic that as we debate this, we're heading out of the most effective peacekeeping organisation in Europe, the European Union. When we sit down with representatives of foreign countries on a day-to-day basis and discuss all things political, that breeds understanding and cooperation. It generates trade and mutual beneficial outcomes. We can travel and experience life through others' eyes. We can experience their culture and their values. We gain better understanding of them and of us. That's a deterrent. That leads to peace. Threats just lead to the escalation of threats. That's why some feel the need to replace and upgrade our current system of WMD. But all that does is put us in an upward spiral of mistrust and an ever-increasing cost to maintain and develop our deterrent. Currently, we know we have now 20 submarines that require decommissioning, a total cost of £7.5 billion, and since the end of the Cold War, the ballistic missiles that could carry the nuclear payload are not targeted at any specified location, which raises the question over the legality of the commanding officer giving the go to launch the missile when he doesn't know the target, and so doesn't know if it's legal, and yet we are asking him to do this. We must ask serious questions about the current system and the proposed replacement. The advent of underwater drone technologies and the cyber capabilities could render submarine-based nuclear systems obsolete. And can we guarantee that through advanced cyber attacks, these weapons could not be turned on us? It can't be denied that the manufacture of submarines, missiles and other ancillary components of the Trident programme have created and supported many jobs over the years, and that people employed in that sector are right to raise concerns about their employment futures. But these people should not be held to ransom. They should not be financially blackmailed. It is not beyond the wit of man to utilise the existing skill sets and retrain others to build a conventional navy, one that is fit for purpose to defend the unique coastline and waters of the United Kingdom, because currently we don't have one. That is what we shall do in an independent Scotland, removing the Trident programme and replacing it with a military base in Fastlane and Coalport, one that fits the needs of a small, independent nation situated in Northern Europe in the 21st century. Employing the current workforce and actively working towards creating a more stable planet where peace, love and understanding are valued more than weapons of mass destruction.
Stephen Kerr.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.